Hi, my name is Taylor Moffat of Hallidine, and I am a partner managing director at an investment banking firm. The link is provided below for your convenience if you should require any further information about us. And this video was produced to help educate our clients as far as the question of should I do a reverse merger to take my company public, or should I just do an old fashioned listing and uplist the company manually via a registration? Um, there's a lot of appeal to the idea of doing a reverse merger. I've been either the principal or the lead negotiator on about a dozen reverse mergers, and there's a lot of speed to it. It's easier, it's quicker. Sometimes it can be cheaper, but not always. And if you're just wanting to do things in the manner with the least amount of paperwork and hassle, the reverse merger is definitely the easiest. There have been a number of different people that have taken their companies public via reverse merger. Anthony Robbins did. It's debatable, and I would say probably Warren Buffett effectively took his company public by buying Berkshire Hathaway, which was not much more than a shell when he acquired it, and I don't think they really have much for business operations. If you look at the actual business, Berkshire Hathaway, it's just a shell that holds all of Warren Buffett's vast enterprise. But there are some good reasons why people would be interested in doing a reverse merger. But having done several, I would say that it's probably not our recommendation, and we would rather see our clients take their companies up via a good old-fashioned uplisting. File an S1 registration statement the old-fashioned way, do the work, and take it up there from scratch, clean and fresh. Number one reason for that, skeletons in the closet. We have a client right now that had already done a reverse merger when they came to us, and the old CEO came back up out of the toilet like something from a gross movie, and is now insisting that because he had given himself some sort of a phony note payable that the company owed him money, that now that there's this debt that's payable to him because he didn't pay himself enough salary while he was running his crummy company, and he's now demanding that this be paid in convertible stock. So he wants millions of shares of stock, and the issuer is refusing to give it to him. FINRA is looking at the transaction now because the guy is a known pump and dump operator, and here's this poor company now that acquired a shell, and now they're stuck with all of this baggage from the past, and it's ugly all the way around. FINRA is looking into the company now and saying, what is your involvement with this guy? And they're saying, we don't have anything to do with this creep. We just acquired the company and we're trying to clean it up. So we've been hired now as a firm to come in and assist in cleaning these guys up, but still, it's just, what a hassle. The guy is making threats and saying that his legal rights are being denied, and FINRA can't necessarily come in and just tell the guy, we're going to stomp you down and get rid of you. There's a legal process to it, and it's a pain. Other problems that could happen, past liabilities from previous experiences, and then there's the goodwill of the company that you get when you acquire a previously operational publicly traded entity. And when you acquire a publicly traded company that's been a shell, the problem with this is that the company went belly up and failed. So oftentimes you've got furious shareholders who are less than sympathetic, and even though you're coming in and their company by all means should have been just flushed down the toilet and imploded and disappeared forever, you're trying to salvage it and give them some value, but they don't look at it that way. They don't look at it that way at all. They look at it like they have just been ripped off, and now you are the next guy in line to continue ripping them off. That's their attitude. and they're just going to hate you no matter what you do, and they're going to be bitter. They'll form little chat rooms on the internet where they'll congregate and post all kinds of libel about you on the internet as the CEO. They'll drive by and take pictures of your house and post it on the internet, and they'll take pictures of your car, and they'll say that you paid for your car by scamming them. And it's just inheriting a whole bunch of. It's like opening a can of worms and eating it when you acquire a shell company, because you inherit all of these upset, nasty people and all of their problems, and they're all ready to file complaints and get attorneys, and they're all looking at you to see what happens. So if you have been nurturing your company, it's my recommendation all day long, start from scratch, file an S1. If it takes an extra 2 months and it takes a little more paperwork, it's worth it. It doesn't have to be more expensive. It can be cheaper to do an S1, especially if you're working with a great firm that's doing the new style of things like DPOs instead of just IPOs. That can save you a ton of headaches. Also, it's less. It's going to attract less attention from regulators if you take your company up with a registration, because regulators like registrations. A registration is saying, here's what we're doing, and here is all of our activities, and now everyone can see what's going on. Whereas the general feel with a reverse merger is that you're trying to hide that disclosure. Maybe that isn't your intention to hide anything, but that's how regulators look at it. So I hope that answered some of your videos, your questions in this video about should we take our company public via a reverse merger or an S1 registration.